you doing?
Good. Have we seen the fully operational, full blast Portland Thorns of this group yet? And if not, how far away are we?
Yeah, no, we're close. I think we've been stuck and we're hovering around 7 out of 10 is the simplest way. I think we, more time we get to spend together, we can get up to speed. And listen, there's never going to be a point where we think we're the finished article. But what we found in pre-season by spending, we had 9 weeks, but we had only 4 to 5 weeks as a complete group. By the end of week 4 and week 5, that's when we saw what the start of what we could be. Yeah, so we're in week 2 and a half of having everyone back together, maybe week 3. So it's going to take time. And of course, it's that type of year that we're going to be managing this. And the group, the way they managed the last transition of players in and out was superb. It will only get harder and new challenges will come up. 7 out of 10. Love where we're going. I love how we're progressing, but we are absolutely nowhere near glimpses of what we've been seeing earlier in preseason.
And I follow up right quick. I realize that every coach who ever coaches Crystal gets asked where she fits in a given tactical setup. And we've seen bits and pieces of it with you guys, but for you at this point, where does she fit in with the Thorns?
Yeah, with the Thorns, she has to be in attacking midfield position. She has to be a player that can get in between lines, receiving. She's got world-class tools all over the toolbox. You're straight away, when you see Crystal play, you see the dribbling ability, just a little bit like Messi in the sense of we talk about Messi's dribbling. Crystal is one of the best passers. Crystal is one of the best finishers. She has decision-making and ability to see space and exploit space and read the game, read moments as good, if not better than everyone else on the planet. It's just the way the brain works. Sometimes it will drag you towards her feet because they're so incredible under tight pressure. So I believe that she has to be in the attacking midfield for our team. And we always continue to evolve the identity to make sure her and 2 or 3 others are constantly in spaces where their attributes can shine the most. And if they're shining and they're elevating their own qualities, then the team's probably doing a good job.
Thanks, Mark. Good luck tomorrow.
Cheers.
Next, we'll go to Grant Little.
Hi, Mark. Hope you're doing well. Both the Thorns and Gotham have these possession-based styles and like to dominate the midfield. How can the Thorns win that midfield battle, and how do you exploit a defense that has kept 3 clean sheets in 4 games?
Yeah, it's going to be a great challenge. I've got a lot of respect for Gotham. I love that they're a team that want the ball. I think it's going to provide a big challenge, right? A team that's brave and has the ball against us can cause us problems. The way we love to defend, it's the team that wants to be able to break that and switch the point and look to break us down with multiple passes sometimes is a challenge, and it's something we're ready and excited for. I think the key is the connection in the midfield for us, and the discipline, the positioning, the tactical discipline. For us, I think we always want to be able to be successful in the attack when we have the ball, and the better we attack, the better we'll defend. The distancing and the positioning will influence both sides of the ball. For me, that'll be crucial for us tomorrow. We've been working on that throughout this week.
Thanks. Good luck tomorrow.
Okay, next we'll go to Melina Gaspar.
Hey, Mark. I have 2 questions for you. First is about Emily Menges, if you can give us an update on her injury. The second one is, what do you think about the evolution of Mitch Purse since she left the Thorns? Thank you.
Yeah, great questions. Menges, if we tape her up, we could get her out there last week against Houston. We can get her out there tomorrow. Let's see how tomorrow looks. If something goes wrong, then we know that we could put her in a spot where we kind of push this along a bit quicker. But if we're in a place where we don't need to, then we don't need to. She's close. She could absolutely play. I love what Midge continues to do. I think we saw great progress throughout her time here. I think she continues with the experience with the national team, continues to evolve, continues to grow. and it's really exciting to see her evolve as a player and as a person into this senior professional that we're seeing today.
Thank you. We'll go to Paul Danzer.
Hey, Mark, how has having this tournament, this trophy, helped you move things along in the spring differently or faster, for lack of a better word, than maybe you would in a normal year?
Yeah, the competition and having these competitive games, I mean, the Challenge Cup model is excellent. And these competitive games means that we get to grow, we get to push, we get to get better, we get to improve under stress, under real situations, which is critical. The most important thing is that we're playing. We don't want to have a week off. We wanted to be in this game because we need to play, and we need to play in big moments, big games to be able to learn, to develop, to grow, take care of the big picture. And we just want to push boundaries bigger and further than they've been before. And you've got to have games like this to be able to do that. That's number one. Absolutely right behind that. Number two is we want to win. I think we're winners at heart. We've built a group that wants to compete. We absolutely thrive in having the opportunity to win. And I think performing at a really high level and getting the basics done to a really high level and continue to improve performance often means that you can be successful over the long term. We can't put winning tomorrow ahead of growing. We can't put winning tomorrow ahead of getting better. The grand scale is we want to chase some big things this year. So playing well is the highest priority, but we want to win. We absolutely want to freaking win. We want to win everything. Just a rondo today. Everyone wants to win. It's in the DNA, and we want to keep developing that desire and willingness to compete. Pre-season is brutal. 9 weeks of playing against each other. We played a few boys teams, OL Reign as well, but we had a lot of time playing against each other. We know how hard it is to see winners play each other and have 50%, losing every week. It's a special group, and I'm really honored to be able to be working with them right now.
Thanks, Mark. Next, we'll go to Steve Hamlin.
Hey, Mark, hope you're doing well. Sort of the message out of Utah last summer was that this was a new Thorns team with sort of a new DNA. Just from your perspective, what has that process of rebuilding that DNA of the club been like? And now, how does it feel to have that process arrive with a chance for another trophy tomorrow?
Yeah, I think honestly, everything will take a bit longer. The Challenge Cup, the fact that we had the opportunity last year absolutely accelerated off the field because we were together for a month in a bubble, on the field, through adversity, knowing that we weren't getting things right, but we could feel 90% of it getting there. We just didn't have the pieces in front of goal. I think last year was huge in accelerating, which means the full series. And so far, we're in a place that we're in. We made a lot of changes. We absolutely made a lot of changes. And this place that we're in right now, we have a collective group that is really invested in the team success, invested in the club achieving and striving and pushing for things bigger and further than they've ever been before. And our commitment is to make sure we are developing every single individual in every possible situation. And I think the best thing about our identity is you can feel the emotion in how we play. We're a really collective, spirited group, but we also have a lot of quality with and without the ball. I know a lot of people will be talking about superstars over the next 24 hours, and we got a lot of superstars, but we wouldn't be where we are today if we didn't have this group, this collective group of players that have really pushed on, young players that have developed, young players that have stepped in and absolutely got it done. Think of Morgan Weaver in the Challenge Cup last year. What an important goal. Look at this year in the first game against KC. That was first time for a lot of people playing in front of fans for this team. And then going away at Chicago, which is a really hard place to get a win with the adversity that we had. So yeah, I love this group right now, and I love the identity that it's starting to really shine through. We'll often attach identity to results. Last year, when our results weren't super great in the Challenge Cup, the identity was so strong and you could feel it and see it everywhere, which was the most important. Now the results are a bit better. Is the identity there? And what we can see is, yes, it's still a 7 out of 10, and we really need to push on. And I hope that's tomorrow. It might be next week. It might be 3 weeks' time. But we're committed to the process. We're committed to the journey, and just know that we got an exciting path ahead if we're ready. That the path isn't going to be smooth and perfect. There's going to be some big adversity, hurdles, and challenges ahead. And are we ready to take them head on? And last year we proved we were ready. And I'm excited for us to show that as well again this year.
Thanks, Mark. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, we'll take a couple more. Joel Odom.
Hey, Mark, to have to be in the final, to have it at home, to be able to play in front of some fans, what does this moment and the magnitude of this moment mean to you and the club?
I think that question sums up where we're at, is that we're so focused on just getting better. We have a responsibility to be able to show our front office, our club, our staff, our fan base, the best fan base in the world, that we want to do well for them, and we want to give everything we can for them, because they give everything to us. And bringing a game home in front of them is something that we're really, really proud of. We're focused on process, we're focused on performance. But the fact that there was a chance, the way this Challenge Cup was built, to bring a game back to them, I think for us fighting for something bigger than us, a bigger purpose, which is people being able to have the joy of watching soccer in our city, means the world to us. And we know we got a big responsibility. There's people all over this stadium. You know, we see a lot of players day in, day out. You see me all the time. There's a lot of important staff on our staff around the team. And the guy that was sweeping the stairs as I walked in today, he looked at me, he said, "Hey man, I don't know what everyone else says, but I think you're a winner. Go win tomorrow." And it just sums up this club. Like I was it 6:45 a.m. and the guy sweeping just outside the stadium made me feel 10 foot tall and wanted to come and attack this day, to bring a game back to him and everyone else that works at this club and puts these teams in this magnificent club in a great place. This is an opportunity that we're ready to embrace, and glad we could give it to them.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mark. All right, we'll take one more from Caitlin Best.
Mark, you sort of alluded to it earlier when you mentioned Morgan Weaver, but I'm just wondering if you could go back to those first two games of the Challenge Cup and sort of shout out some of the players, some of the younger players that really stepped up during that time and have been stepping up over the last year and a half.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to be able to start naming them, Caitlin, because so many of them have played a critical role. And I'm really proud. And I think when you give me half a chance to talk about it, I'm really proud to say we have some really special, talented, world-class players, but that is not the only reason we are a very good team. Kelly Hubley has been doing over the last 12 months in her performance shows 4 years worth of work. What Simone Charlie is showing and what she's doing is not the last 6-12 months, it's the last 2-3 years. And it's funny seeing a young player turn up now. And I know the generation obviously keeps evolving, and young players will turn up and everything's supposed to come fast and quick and easy. And then we have people who are absolutely killing it, crushing it, as Kelly or say Simone. And they're telling stories how they didn't travel for a whole year. They were training in a small group of 3 people or 4 people during a travel trip. And a young player going, "Oh, that's terrible." And Simone saying, "Actually, it was the reason I'm doing well today." And the reason that is because we travel 4 days, we train once, we play once, and Simone's back here in 2017, 18, 19, whatever the years were, getting 4 days of training, getting better. And look, I wish I could say it was the environment or the coaching or this or that. Players come in and they have a decision, and they have a mental skill to develop to stay committed to the long term. And the players that have done that, Madison Pogarch, we've seen Marissa Everett starting to push through now. Megan Nally behind the scenes, you guys haven't seen her. She's ready to fricking go when we give her the look. So I'm proud of all the work that our younger players, and we are the team we are because of the work they're doing and we're doing to support them and their continued development.